Welcome once again, everyone, to Two Stupid Gamers. It's your boy Zero.
And I'm Mash.
And we got, once again, another amazing unboxing for you guys today. Mash, tell the viewers what we have.
So today we have a console unboxing. This is something that I've been putting off for a little while because I'm just kind of waiting for the right moment. An opportunity presented itself, and I got myself a brand new Switch, the OLED white Nintendo Switch. For context, this is the original Switch still. It's just the OLED version with an updated OLED screen, but nonetheless, it is a brand new console. I've actually been using a Switch that was gifted to me by our friend BioZvenom about 4 years ago, and I've still been using it to this day, and I just thought to myself, like, maybe I should kind of upgrade and see what the OLED version is all about. It does look like the screen is a little bit bigger, but that might just be the box art. But yeah, I got a new Switch. We're gonna unbox it. We're here for you today. Let's
unbox.
You know, it's a wonderful moment when you get to open up a brand new console. You know,
it really is.
You kind of feel like you're like a kid again. But this one is weird for me because I already have a Switch. This is just an upgrade to get like a slightly newer version of the Switch, slightly cleaner version of it. I also see that you get the white. The dock is white too, which my dock is like really like old and done. Oh, well, I guess what's also really good, and now I have new Joy-Cons.
Yes.
You know what? I think that's the absurdity of Nintendo. It's almost cheaper to just get a whole new Switch, sell most of the console, and then that's how you get Joy-Cons for a good price. But yeah, no, Joy-Cons are really expensive. Mine are thankfully still not drifting. My original ones from the red and blue that BioZvenom gifted to me, still working, but
yeah, same for me. Because I unboxed my own
Animal
Switch,
Crossing.
My Animal Crossing themed Switch, which, by the way, I love the colors on that thing. It looks so good.
It looks great.
They're still not drifting. Granted, I do not play on the Switch as much as I probably should, but no, they're not drifting. And I also have my wired Crash Bandicoot controller for it, so I don't really need to use the Joy-Cons.
But it's nice though, because again, like getting Joy-Cons, you're dropping almost $100.
Yeah.
After tax.
It's unfortunate.
So, like the price for Nintendo's stuff sometimes is ridiculous, and with the Joy-Cons is like no exception. So this is the first time I ever bought a second pair of Joy-Cons. So, but anyway, we're gonna get right into this unboxing for you guys.
Let's open up that Nintendo Red box, and we are presented immediately with the console and the Joy-Cons. There's no waiting.
Oh, yeah. There they are. I hope to God these last. I hope that I'm not going to have to ship these to Nintendo.
These hopefully should last, crossing my fingers, because this is after the whole Joy-Con drift debacle happened in like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So tell us, Mash, how do they feel? Do they feel the same? Do they feel different?
I feel like the edge on the plastic, which, by the way, on my original Switch, the edge of the plastic, or the edge of it here, this like plastic part that kind of
the rail
clips into it, the rail. Thank you. The rail on mine, the paint is actually chipping.
No way.
And it looks kind of weird, so it's cool to see that. But just in general, this feels a lot better than the ones on my Switch. And I'd say overall, like, yeah, they feel a little bit nicer quality-wise. Give them a feel.
This one feels a tad heavier. I don't know why. Other than that, they feel practically the same.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're just clean as hell because they're brand spanking new. Yeah, everything feels nice.
Yeah.
Feels the same.
Now your Switch might be more recent, so you might really have one of the most modern iterations of the Joy-Con that they have now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's not a big deal for you, but for me, even just the analogs, again, the part that gives everyone so much issue, feels so much better. Already happy with the Joy-Cons. We're already $100 into this purchase. But let's take out the model itself. Once again, this is the OLED screen.
Now, for those who don't get it, those who are not technically savvy, OLED is a different type of light bulb. So OLED, meaning that they give off much brighter colors, much more deeper colors. And they also consume less energy, believe it or not.
Oh, that's good.
OLEDs, LEDs, like they consume less energy. So it's more energy efficient, at least I hope it is. And the colors are going to seem more deep while you play with it. Also, the screen is bigger.
That's good, because honestly, that could mean to better battery life overall. Some of you might remember OLED technology from another handheld game console a long time ago, which was the PS Vita, used OLED as well. And besides the Vita and like a select few TVs, I don't really see a lot of OLED technology in use, but it is cool that they decided to go with that. The Vita looked really good, and again, I mean, putting it on another handheld console, I think, is the way to go. I'm already noticing some key differences. Again, it might just be me, but it feels like the screen of my original Nintendo Switch is a little bit smaller. I might be wrong.
It is smaller.
Okay.
100% the OLED Switch has a bigger screen. And also the kickstand in the back.
The kickstand in the back. Okay, so this is way different. So before, the kickstand in the back was basically just one little leg that comes up, and I always felt like I was going to break it.
Same.
This one, though, ooh, it goes all the way out. That's nice. And has no give to it. I always thought the micro SD port was really weird with the Switch because it's just open. But yeah, this is where it would be on the other Switch as well, just behind that kickstand.
That's nicer because, again, on the original, it faces down.
Right, as opposed to sideways.
Yeah, and this faces sideways, so it's less likely to fall out. And then again, if it's closed, this whole thing is a big... It's a... You heard that?
That clip was good, too. Yeah, that was a good clip. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of quality of life changes compared to the one that I have. These buttons feel really nice. I mean, this is... Let me open up the game.
It's a higher quality system.
Even though we tend to give Nintendo a lot of flack, they definitely did their work with updating the Switch, because again, it's like night and day compared to the one that I have. Oh, he's gonna do the first clip. Okay, I'll take this one.
Yeah, do the other.
Do the other. Very nice. There it is. Pretty much the main component to this unboxing. So yeah, I really like it. I really like the design on the Switch. Oh man.
It's also wider. It's a little bit wider.
It does feel wider. You know what? For the sake of this video, I'll run out real quick and get the side-by-side comparison of the Switch that I have, gifted by, again, BioZ Venom. Okay, so for science, we went ahead and got my original Switch. This is, I would say this is probably the first era of the Switch, or maybe one shortly after, but I don't think they made too many changes to it. So this is the original. I also brought the dock as well. We'll compare that in just a second. The old Switch kickstand we were talking about is right there. And let's put them side by side. So you just get a look. And I mean, immediately it's like, we should flip this around so everyone could see, but the kickstands on the side, on the back, you can immediately tell that you're looking at an older version because it just doesn't look as good without that whole half.
You could also see
the screen. Yeah, the screen is definitely bigger.
Yeah, so the OLED is only slightly
wider.
But
the screen goes out further if you look at the very edge. So you're probably getting like maybe half an inch bigger on the screen, possibly. Again, a little size comparison, still very close. They found a way to make it even nicer to look at, which for me personally, I think that's gonna make me more likely to play the Switch in handheld mode.
Yes.
Just because the screen is bigger, it's so much more to look at. I always kind of felt like I needed to squint or something with the Switch.
Yeah.
The Switch that I had, because it was the screen wasn't so big. So hopefully this changes that for me. But yeah. Nice little side by side.
So after more
examination,
another thing that I also realized about the OLED versus the original, the kickstand on the original feels flimsy because it is flimsy. It's plastic. It's just a solid. Well, it's not even a solid piece of plastic. It's a flimsy piece of plastic. You could even tell the difference because you can see the lighter gray than the black on the original. Meanwhile, this is all metal all the way through, even the kickstand itself, which is why it feels so god dang sturdy.
Yeah.
Which is also why Mash is loving it. Oh, that click is so satisfying.
It's a good click.
It's a good satisfying click.
The vents are also a little bit different. I don't know if that changes much, but if you look at both vents, the main vent on the original Switch has like bigger holes, and the one on the new Switch has the OLED has kind of like these little slits, but there's multiple of them. So I don't know if they're about the same size. They probably are. That's definitely one thing to take into consideration. A lot of people complain that their Switch does overheat, so that's definitely something that I'm sure they tried to factor in with this one, that they improved off of this one. I like the look of some of the other features. The buttons are sleeker, a little bit more slim design. The game card slot door is a lot nicer on the new one. It kind of like is very flush with the Switch, and just presentation wise it's a lot better. Also the little audio input as well it's weird. It's just a hole, but here I think it looks better than this one. So
yeah,
there's a lot of cool stuff I think to like with this.
All right, so let's keep looking through. What other goodies do we get other than cardboard?
So I got really excited for a second there. I thought there was a game in here.
No, it's just paperwork.
We're not gonna get that nostalgic. You get an HDMI cable, of course. I still have the original one that came with my Switch.
The elusive power brick for the Nintendo Switches.
Why do you say elusive?
Because they're at least 50 to 60 bucks individually.
Again, I feel like I could just kind of use all of my old Switch stuff and just sell these for parts, you know?
Wrist straps.
Yeah, if you're gonna use the Joy-Cons detached. I guess what's cool about the Switch is because it's such a gimmicky console, you end up having a lot of extra stuff. So I still have all of this from my original Switch, including this guy. I love this. Let's show off how this works. But the Joy-Cons by themselves, I'm gonna go ahead and take them off, but the Joy-Cons by themselves, I feel like when I hold them as a controller, the disconnect where my two hands are like able to freely move away from each other just doesn't feel right. And I don't like playing with the Joy-Cons by themselves. But when you take this guy over here and slide in the Joy-Cons, I don't know about you guys at home, I don't know about you, Zero, but me personally, I really like this thing that comes with the Switch. Holding this in my hand, suddenly, although it's really bizarre because it looks like a pizza box on wings or something, like, even though it looks really weird, suddenly this to me feels like an actual controller, like a firm, in your hands, good controller that I feel really comfortable with playing, you know? Playing games on the Switch.
I agree with you. I never liked using the Joy-Cons in like nunchuck mode. Obviously, you're gonna have to use it sometimes, especially if you play multiplayer games, which is why these are so necessary.
And also, if you're gonna do something that's very active, if you're doing a lot of motion and moving around, you're gonna want that.
Yeah.
Nintendo learned its lesson from the Wii, so now they provide this, and it will prevent the Joy-Con from flying out of your hand at your TV
and shattering what could be a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 TV, obviously.
Yeah, I was there when Nintendo had to message everyone and give them free Joy-Con
wrist straps,
and they also gave a free jelly over sleeve over the Wii remote.
Yes, I remember seeing those back in the day.
Yeah,
I found them hilarious. We called them something different. We're not gonna say it, but if you know, you know. Those were hilarious because it is true. People would accidentally
throw the controller.
They would either throw the controller or accidentally slap someone with the controller.
Yep.
Especially if you're playing with a friend, if you're playing the boxing game and, you know, punch someone by accident.
Yeah.
The wrist straps. I still remember that one video. The guy was playing bowling with the Wii.
Yeah.
And just goes, whoop! TV shattered.
When Nintendo took a hard turn into the Wii generation.
Yeah.
They just decided to embrace Darwinism, you know? And I guess humanity is just very clumsy by default.
Yes, we are.
And we needed now every Switch is gonna come with this by default because they learned their lesson from the Wii. So you get those as well. But there's one more thing in there.
Go ahead, mash. Pull that out. There we go. The box.
Oh my God, Zelda! No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that would be nice of Nintendo.
Yeah, they probably should bundle it with Zelda.
Note, everyone, when I got my Animal Crossing Switch, it did not come with Animal Crossing. Just letting you know.
What?
Yeah, didn't come with any game. Just saying.
God damn, Nintendo.
Just saying.
Anyway, so here is the new Switch OLED dock. Again, what's cool is that this one is a different color than the one I originally have. Wow, look at that.
That looks sleek.
Very sleek.
I like how that looks. So this little curve over here, if I remember correctly from seeing other videos.
Yeah.
This is supposed to... Oh, this just comes straight off. That's interesting.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a hinge.
Yeah, mine does too sometimes.
So this curve and hole over here on the side is to help route the wires, the power cable, the HDMI.
Yep.
And we now have a LAN Ethernet port right over here as well.
Oh, wow.
We now have a LAN Ethernet port.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, unfortunately, for those who loved that extra USB port that was here, it is indeed gone. There's no extra USB. It's just the power port, HDMI, and LAN.
I'm not a fan of that. I almost feel like this is
are vents.
Airflow. Yes.
Those are vents.
Perfect. So we definitely want that. Beautiful Switch logo on the front. Yeah, I gotta say, this dock is really nice. Very sleek.
100% it is. I like how it looks. I was gonna say this was also more curved over here, but it's not. It's just to give it the illusion that it is. Well, let's go ahead and put the back plate back on. I'm gonna put it upright instead.
We're gonna dock it. So for anyone that doesn't know, you dock the Switch into the dock. It's charging automatically. There's a little USB slot there. What I sometimes get annoyed by is having to do it the right way. But I mean, like, yeah, if you put it in backwards, it won't go. So, which is funny because it's a USB. But as you can see,
USB-C.
USB-C, which is reversible. But there's a little crevice here. I think that's kind of what guides it, possibly. But yeah, you have to put it in the correct way. And when you do, it's docked, it's secure, it's charging. And yeah, like Zero said, you got nice egress for some of the wires. And that looks really good.
So the wires would come out through here, connected from the inside. That's really good. Wire management has always been the bane of my existence. I'm horrible at it. So Nintendo giving us some sort of way to like do it easier is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie.
There's about 3 or 4 corners in my room that are in agreement with you on that, Zero. But real quick, let's take a look at the side-by-side with the original. So this is the original Switch. I find it interesting that the logo is a lot smaller.
Yes.
On the new one, but I guess that's what usually that's what happens. Companies with redesigns will make things smaller. As Zero pointed out, the curves around the corners are way more pronounced on the new model versus the old one. So you still had the egress for the relief for the wires for wire management. However, it was a slightly different shape, slightly smaller. We open that up. Apologies for the dust. This is old as hell, but we're gonna take that off. And again, difference being there was one USB port here, whereas there's an Ethernet here. Honestly, I don't like that. As much as I think it's cool that they put the Ethernet port in there, my Switch has always worked fine with Wi-Fi for the most part.
Yeah.
I would rather just have an extra USB. So that kind of sucks, but I'm sure that there are like third-party peripherals you can get that will allow you to put into the existing USB slots something that makes it like 4 or, you know, whatever. Let's do one more test, putting them both with the Switches docked side by side. Size comparison there for a second.
Yeah, they're about the same. And I think if I remember correctly,
yeah,
you can use the old Switch in the new dock, and it should work fine, and vice versa.
There you go. Old Switch, original model, OLED Switch with tons of quality of life improvements, as we saw.
We almost forgot.
Yeah.
The USB ports on the side.
Yeah.
They look the same. There's nothing different.
Yeah.
There's nothing different. It doesn't look like they switched them to USB 3 because they don't have the blue on it. I think it's just USB 2.
That's pretty much it. So again, all of the stuff that you get with the console, you get the dock, the Joy-Cons, the accessories for the Joy-Cons, because we all know the Joy-Cons have a couple of accessories with them. The Switch itself, power adapter, a brand new cable. Again, just kind of doing this video, I'm thinking to myself, like, boy, I could probably just like sell all of this stuff and make some money. If it really is that elusive, it's that expensive, could get some of my money back. But that's gonna be it pretty much. I'm excited to have a new Switch. Finally got another one, and probably gonna just transfer over all of my stuff from the old Switch to the new one, make that my main one. I cannot wait to try out that OLED. We'll definitely talk about it in a future video, how much I like it compared to the old Switch. And that's going to do it for this video.
If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to slap the like button, mash the subscribe button, and let us know down in the comments below, did you get an OLED Switch? Do you think it's worth it? Do you like nice, bright, pretty colors on your screen? We definitely do.
And what's your favorite version of the Switch? I think by this point in the Switch's life cycle, there's been quite a few versions of it that you can get. Our buddy Zero here got a Animal Crossing one. I know that there's definitely a Mario one as well as a Zelda one.
Pokemon one.
Let us know what your favorite is in the comments below.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.